Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Cookiecast. Today on Cookiecast, it's our fast favourite, the BScast. And as I like to say, for all of you in the know, you'll know what the BS stands for. It's another one with myself, Paul Williams and James Panas. We're talking a whole load of nonsense. And another fun episode. So let's check this out. This is Cookiecast BScast.
You bastard.
How'd you turn this all off?
I'm just going to get in these last few pretzels before.
Oh.
No more pretzels.
Well, a lot.
James, since last week,
Did we ever decide?
when we discussed that stuff about all that sandwich and that stuff, I haven't been able to stop thinking about eating it.
Yeah.
No. But then full week, possibly month even. And
Yeah. I've been thinking about it a lot in the last week.
if only there was some sort of burger with pepperoni and bacon on it that I would be able to sink my teeth into in the next
And cheese.
37 minutes and 52 seconds.
And cheese.
Oh, the cheese. That's a good point.
64 slices.
So-
throwing juice.
Can you think of a food, sensible answers only, that isn't made better with the addition of cheese? Because you always get smart. You always get like smart little fuckers who come back with, what about cereal? It's like,
No.
fuck you.
I can think of a savoury item that isn't made better by cheese.
Interesting. Right.
So, I set the scene for you there. Right?
Let's think about this. Because if he comes out and says steak, I might have to.
No.
I might have to bitch slap him.
I'm thinking about your starchy carbs now. Potato, absolutely always made
Right.
better by cheese.
You're gonna. I know exactly what you're gonna say, and I disagree.
Really? So potato, all potato options are made better with cheese.
Correct.
Yeah. Pasta, always made better with cheese.
Maybe not in Rob's eyes, but
What?
Bless
so
him.
Rob
Rob
Rob Rafton
Right.
absolutely hates pasta. Doesn't eat cheese that's
Melted
warm.
cheese.
I've never
And
understood this
so
melted
not a big fan of
cheese
pizza. So
Sorry, I'm just completely-
his one place that his one like nightmare restaurant to ever go to, Italian,
Yeah.
because he doesn't do pasta and he doesn't do warm cheese.
Getting the steak then, is it? Anyway, you know where I'm going.
Pretty much.
You know where I'm going. Rice is not made better with cheese.
Incorrect.
Really?
Never had a risotto before.
Oh, shit, you've got me now. I'm thinking your yellow grated cheese, not your parmesan.
Well, you said cheese.
Yeah.
Bitch.
No, you're right.
It was cheese. It was mentioned.
There's
You
a
have
point.
corrected me.
Is there ever a time when it's possible to get pretty much all of the carbs into one meal? So you'd have
So
to have
pasta,
rice,
potato.
bread, potato.
You're gonna
The
have to
closest
do a sandwich, aren't
the
you?
closest I can think where you can get to it is if you have lasagna with a side of garlic bread and chips.
Kind of forcing it though, innit?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
And you ain't got the rice there either.
that's what I'm saying. That's the closest I've ever thought you can get to it.
If I got Leanne in here now, she'd be all over that. She'd be like, what's wrong with that? Right. So, this is today's topic. Like I said, this could spark a conversation
Gather round, children.
that will last the exact amount of time until it takes the food to turn up. Or, in 10 minutes, we're all sat here going, so, what's your favourite colour? When you were growing up,
Blue, by the way.
Purple.
Purple. Ooh.
when I was younger, I used to say my favourite colour was blue, and it was. Because I didn't think it was manly to say that.
But you like purple?
But now, if I had a bit of wedge, like if I was rich,
You be
I
wrapping that car purple.
100% have a purple suit.
Purple suit?
Fuck yeah!
That's a bit.
I am a man who owns a purple shirt and a purple tie and will happily wear them both. Yeah, I'm 2 items away from a full-blown purple suit. So, when you were growing up, when you were coming up...
Oh.
I'm coming.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
Train driver.
Is that legit?
That's legit.
Really?
I don't think I ever, when I was a kid, I don't think I ever really had any ambition. It sounds awful.
That's got to be bullshit because part of like your school sort of day, there was always a school project where it was like, what do you want to do when you grow up? Do not a paper on it, but like,
a project on it.
Yeah.
I can't remember ever doing anything like that.
I'm surprised by
some early memories. So I'm colourblind, right? So I always
So you don't
remember from an early
yes,
point.
James. That's how we should all be.
No.
Yes.
But from a very early age, I was aware that electrician and pilot were off the books.
It's funny you say that. Because throughout like my dad's side of the family, it was pilot. So like my granddad, my dad, and me. My dad's colourblind. So the moment that was discovered...
You mean wanted to be?
Yeah.
I thought you meant as in like you come from a long list of pilots. I was like, what?
It was like, well, you can
Fifth generation pilot.
Yeah.
So me, pilot. Going to be a pilot.
Excellent.
Obviously, horribly asthmatic. So, and dumb as shit.
Oh.
But that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a pilot. And I did the paper. I did the paper at school. I was like, going to be a pilot.
You can't be a pilot with the colour blindness.
They were like...
Never thought about that.
You're not, because you're thick as picture.
Why is that?
Colourblind, pilot.
It might be a stupid question, but surely like...
I don't know.
You're not looking for colours, you're just looking for...
It's not bomb disposal, is it?
No.
Cut the red wire.
Because surely all you're looking for is, even in fine and dark, you're looking for the lights that are on the edge of a...
I don't know.
Runway.
I don't know. I mean, people...
I suppose
whoever
fair,
watches
the lights,
this,
the lights do flash red. What are your colours that you can't see?
Red and green?
No, I'm not the red-green one.
Oh, really?
It's not like I can't see colours. I struggle to differentiate when different colours are the same shade. Have I ever talked about this before?
No, it's never. It's never
So
been
for
I
me,
think this isn't the first time you've mentioned it, but you've never gone any further.
If they're a similar shade, right, to me, grey, green and pink all look absolutely the same colour if the shade's close enough. I can't... you know what I mean? Like that, but that would be obvious, presumably, to you.
Yeah, I don't have any... So I don't think I've got any like colour blindness in me because I can pretty much see everything's got its own like. Is there anything in this room then that has?
I can see all the differences of stuff, but you look at like Deadpool over there, right?
Can you see that? So obviously because he's got grenades on his back, yeah.
Yes.
Can you see that there's two different colours of the grenade?
No. But that's maybe the lighting. What I was going to say is, though, normally I'd be able to see there's two different things. I wouldn't be able to tell you which one's which. So if you look at Deadpool there, like...
Worst thing is now we're going to have to try and get some sort of like camera angle where we show him the Deadpool...
Deadpool's just looking at us in the corner. He's with us. Red background.
Yeah.
Looks to me like an orange suit there. But I always think of Deadpool as having a red suit. I suppose what I'm trying to say is I can't really describe whether, because of a shade, whether something's red or orange, or I suppose like a dark yellow, I suppose to a degree.
Yeah.
But and then purples and blues merge into each other for me.
Why can't colourblind people be pilots?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Instrumentation and warnings in a modern flight deck are colour-coded to give different meanings. E.g., green equals all well, amber equals urgent but not critical, red equals urgent and critical. Not forgetting also that the navigation lights on aircraft are green and red, so no one can tell if they're coming or going. In situations such as a radio failure, pilots also rely on colour-coded strobes from the ground for communication. Though this is unlikely to happen, it's still mandated in licensing requirements for most countries.
I see, I did not know that.
So it's lights and warnings.
Interesting.
All fair, I suppose.
Yeah. So you can't think of anything you wanted to be as a kid. I imagine office worker.
So
And you had your dream come true.
obviously I started out
Pilot.
Man United footballer.
Well, everyone has everyone has the
I mean,
football.
I'm discounting the kind of like the dream ones.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Space
footballer.
Cowboy.
Space Cowboy. Do you know what I was thinking? This is so weird that you said this, because I was just thinking the other day, I was listening to a podcast. Surprisingly enough, you'll be shocked to hear, wrestling based one.
No.
And I was just thinking, why did I never want to be a wrestler when I was a kid? So, like, basically, you listen to... So there's a particular one that I listen to, which is the Edge and Christian podcast. And they normally have a guest on each week that they do an interview with, and it always starts like... It always follows the same sort of pattern of, you know... So how old were you when you first, like, sort of got into wrestling? How old were you when you first started thinking, yeah, this might be the job for me, blah, blah, blah. And I was sort of thinking to myself, obviously I watched it since I was about 7. That's the first sort of like memories I've got of watching wrestling. And I used to go and spend a lot of time with my grandparents up in Middlesbrough. And they had a huge garden. And my grandma was quite handy with like sewing, knitting, anything like that. So she made me a dummy that was basically life-sized to how tall and like sort of like, you know, heavy I was at the time. That was my wrestling dummy. So I used to be able to sort of wrestle with this dummy and stuff. And I remember there's pictures of me. It sounds a bit dodgy, doesn't it? But I remember there's pictures of me when I was a kid where I've stood on the sort of the picnic table, and I've put a bit of tarpaulin down, which was the ring or the mat, and then I've got the dummies just in the middle of this bit of tarpaulin, and then there's a picture of me must be about 7-8 foot in the air, because I've jumped off. There's obviously dropped the elbow or something on this doll, and I'm just thinking to myself, was I not like massively hurting myself?
All I can think right now is, how are you still here?
Yeah, but it was like a case. I never tried to do anything like flippy or anything like that. It was always just like I'd try and jump off
An
and like elbow drop,
yeah.
or like maybe like a leg drop or something like that. But I was just thinking, like, because Mick Foley always talks about the fact that he used to do an elbow drop off the side of the ring. And land on the concrete, and it's that obviously that sort of constant like sort of like I can't think of the word landing impact impact is the word, that constant impact on like his hip bone, which is basically why he's had to have a hip replacement at like 36 or something ridiculous like that. And I just think to myself, well, I used to do it quite a lot when I was at my grandparents' house, so why don't I have more pain in my hips and stuff? But,
I suppose like young bones, young body and stuff, it takes more damage.
Yeah, I suppose. But yeah, so like, I don't know why I never ever wanted to be a professional wrestler. I suppose it's because I live in the UK.
So I was like, well...
I was thinking they always put it at Tesco, like, what happened to that order?
Oh no,
You promised me food ages ago.
And she was like, are you fucking shit? She's like, what, from now?
I'm going to chew my fucking arm off in a minute.
So as far as like, yeah, you know, you live in the UK and that sort of stuff, obviously there are wrestlers who've gone from the UK to the WWE, obviously the Page thing and stuff like that. I worked with a lad and he was massively into the wrestling, and he got into the backyard wrestling. So
light tubes and stuff like that.
Doing all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's like, I don't know whether we're conditioned to already be grounded.
What, because we live in the UK?
Yeah, because obviously, like I say, I went from I'm going to be a Man United footballer to, well, that's unachievable. So I'll be a pilot instead.
Brilliant.
Obviously.
Scale it back.
I honestly can't think what I wanted to be, but my early experience have always been well into cars. So I suppose at some point I probably
race
thought
driver.
about, yeah,
rally driver, something like that.
Yeah, but I honestly can't remember having any kind of like serious thoughts about this is what I want to be.
Well, to be honest with you, if you were to ask me now what I'd want to do,
well, that kind of brings me, because there are people that are like they set out in life and they're like, I'm going to be this. There was the British astronaut, can't think of his name.
Tim Payne?
Possibly, and he was just like, I'm going to be an astronaut, and his teacher's like, you're not, and he's like, no, I am. and I'm going to get up tomorrow and do absolutely everything throughout the day that gets me one day closer to being an astronaut.
But the reason why his teachers are not saying that is because there's probably every day hundreds of kids that say that, and he's just the one that's.
It's that thing,
managed
innit?
it, though, isn't it?
It's always the same. Like there's always those stories out there of kids who say, like, I mean, the wrestling is a perfect example. It's a case of, you know, from the moment I was like 5 years old, I always said I wanted to become a professional wrestler, and I made it and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, you did, but equally, there's probably at least 50 kids that had that exact same dream and never made it.
I mean, there's TV programs about the undrafted NFL players.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be an NFL player, but out of that year, of the, 20 or 40,000 people that are like, I'm going to be an NFL football player, it's 166 of them actually make it, is it? From like the draft.
Something ridiculous. Like,
so they go undrafted, and like, oh, there's still a way in because you can go in like this, you can go in like that, and then like 5% of them make it.
but it's that sort of thing, like sports, professional sports. If you think of the amount of players, like, so I was having this conversation with my mate like a number of years ago. It was just something like, say you're really good at tennis. If someone said to you that they're the 850th best tennis player in the world, that's ridiculous. That's so good, but they'll never ever win a tournament because there's 849
when you think
people
of how
better
many
than
people
him.
in the world, yeah.
But to say that you're 800 and something best at anything is a massive achievement, considering how many people are around the world.
Yeah.
But it's like all success is relative, isn't it?
Yeah, I think someone told me, I don't know if it was probably when they were talking about golf or whatever, it was like, for all the people that play golf, it's only like 0.5% or 1% that play under 10 or something like that of all people who play golf in the world.
Handicap.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I see what you
So
mean.
like
Okay.
that was like, what do you think I was going with age or something?
Yeah, I was like, eh?
Yeah. But that's like, so like, yeah, playing like under 10 is, that makes you really, really good in the top 1% of the world. However, absolutely going to make no money out of it.
Yeah, that's the thing. So it's like, I think another thing I was talking to with my mate was, if you could play any sport in the world to a competitive level, which sport would you play, and like what would be your reasoning behind choosing that sport? And I think we sort of ended up saying, well, you'd probably pick the one that's going to obviously give you the most chance of earning the highest amount.
Yeah.
Baseball.
So baseball's
So that was
probably
that
one
thing
of them.
I was saying the other day.
That's leveling out though. You don't tend to see the big contracts in baseball as much as you do basketball or
So
American
they
football.
put 3 NFL quarterbacks and their salaries, they were like in the hundreds of millions, versus 1 baseball player, and his contract was 330 million, and underneath it said, "Don't be a footballer, play baseball," because the money that's there.
Baseball's dying out though. They
Yeah.
say that like kids don't want to play anymore because it's so boring.
I couldn't imagine anything worse.
I mean,
I have
don't follow
I have
American
been to a
sports.
baseball game in America and it was actually quite good, but it was sort of, you were sitting there thinking, am I enjoying this or am I enjoying the beer and the corn dog? that I'm
Again,
eating?
Yeah. I think
the episode of The Simpsons where Homer has to give up drinking or something, and they go to the baseball game and he's sat there sober and he's like, I never realised how boring this is.
I think it just doesn't. I mean, I don't follow any American sports,
Yeah.
but I can name you MLS players, right?
Yeah.
I can name you basketball players. I can name you American football players at a push. I reckon I'd be able to maybe mention like 1 or 2 baseball players.
I'd struggle with
at
baseball
the
players.
most.
I don't think I could name a single one.
No, there's that. Is it Alex Rodriguez or
I
something?
don't know if he's retired now.
But
Yeah, the ones that I would be able to name are obviously ones that I saw
Current
playing
one,
for the
yeah,
Yankees like
yeah.
7 years ago, whatever it was when I went.
what I mean
to
is,
New
there's no
York.
style. You're going to struggle in the world unless you've been literally living under a rock. For someone who can't, if you go name me a basketball player and they can't name LeBron,
Yeah, or I was going to say Kevin Durant, but he's not actually that
or
big a name.
Beckham Jr. or
Kobe,
something
Kobe
like that.
Bryant.
in the
Yeah,
NFL.
so like that's the thing. If you
I
had
don't
to,
follow NFL at all, but I know
So then-
I know I would be able to pick him out of the lineup.
well, there you go.
Just
That's
'cause he's
the
there.
thing. Is there like obviously sport is a generic term, but could you name like the top 5 names associated with a certain sport? Like,
this is
how
dangerously
much,
close to sports quiz, and I love it.
How much would you sort of back yourself in that sort of, if someone like came up to you and said, right, we're going to do like an off the cuff quiz.
Yeah.
I'm just going to fire questions at you. It's to win money. You can only answer, like, so you can either choose to not answer the question or answer the question. But if you say you're going to answer the question, you have to answer it in full. And it's name 5 of the top 10 as given by so and so of a certain sport. How much would you back yourself? And the sport can be literally anything.
Because in that situation,
I feel like I'd have a lot of
basketball. Fine, we've already said all 3 of us would be fucked if the sport was baseball.
Yeah.
Formula 1, obviously football. Even I could do football.
Football and Formula 1.
But again,
easy. But that's probably because I like.
You can
It depends if they want current or like all time.
MotoGP.
Right. See, I grew up You probably the same. Watching Trans World Sport on a weekend.
Yeah.
Right, and every sport you can think of, if they've got a top 10 for it, Trans World Sport's telling you what that top 10 is.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Right.
Also,
So like
all the best
golf,
surfers.
tennis. It was mainly more around like individual sports for the rankings, wasn't it? But like, if like not on Trans World Sport, but like I could name you like 5 of the top 16 snooker players in the world, and I don't particularly follow snooker. Maybe not so much you. I back myself on a lot of sports for that, but if
Oh,
this is just begging to be done at this point in time. It's
like,
crying out for
we do it all the time. Like me, like Steve and that, the guy who lives in Spain. Whenever we go on like stag do's or if we're out at the pub and stuff like that, and it gets the sort of conversation starts to lull a bit. The best way to bring it round is a case of right. We did it on my mate's stag do when we went to Berlin. It was a case of right, lads. How many of Middlesbrough's top 10 signings can you name? And we went through 'em. Now this is a bit of a bone of contention because the site he was using was adjusting it for inflation, so it was like, oh God, right, okay, because the top one wasn't who I thought it was because it had been adjusted for inflation
relative to what it was at the time.
So it was a bit tricky, but I love stuff like that though. I just love learning stuff.
I love
So
lists and rankings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I really do.
I'm the same. So I'd always be up
Getting
for
some
stuff like
pointers for the quizzes here, Andy.
Yeah. I'm thinking of a few quizzes for this. Rando quizzes.
So we'll bring it back. So, you have to be able to like. So, you've been given the gift to be able to play any sport to a competitive level. What sport do you play, and like, what's your reasoning?
I think it would probably be basketball.
Mm-hmm. A lot of games in a short space of time.
Yeah, like you start running through them. I think another one would potentially be golf.
Yeah, I've always thought
golf.
that. Not particularly a lot of strain on the body.
Not a lot of strain on the body.
Although you can argue that Tiger Woods fucked his knees up because of driving and stuff.
In this scenario, though, are you
not
suggesting
that sort of driving when he got a golf club wrapped around his head or something?
In this scenario, you're suggesting that, like, obviously, like, the effort involved to get to the pinnacle of that thing is eradicated. You go straight in with just giving a set of skills.
It's not a case of you pick a sport and then you've got to do your 10,000 hours or whatever.
It's for you, Paul. It's the bit in the Matrix where the guy's like, he wants to go back into the Matrix as
Gimme Kung Fu
as a world-class actor, and he wants to forget that any of it's real. So you just go, like, tomorrow you wake up with the ability to play that sport.
It's a case. I've put you into like a suspended animation scenario. You come out of the suspended animation scenario and you are a professional sportsman in what?
Like I say, immediately, because I'm like, American football, and it's like, no, because you just be destroyed in such a short space of time.
Not necessarily, because if you think about it, you could be an American football punter,
kicker, yeah,
or a kicker, and you're hardly ever going to get touched.
But then you're not going to be hitting the top of your game.
suppose.
I can't imagine there's many $150 million kickers out there.
Probably not, but I mean, like,
How?
I'd much rather be. Let's put it this way. I'd much rather be the worst kicker in the NFL than the best
Running back.
netball player, because you'll be on a bigger wage.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're basically on money. Right, how contentious would it be if I mentioned esports?
If you're going to say you're going to be a professional FIFA player, I'm going to kick you out the house.
I wasn't thinking FIFA, I was thinking more like your Call of Duties or your Counter Strike, something
I
like that.
think all that's bullshit, because it's not sport. It's
Oh, well, I'm
gaming.
saying
It's professional gaming, basically.
professional gaming then. So you're not...
It's the same as when people say they're a
Oh,
professional gambler.
There is an element of
like,
skill.
no.
You know what I like? I watch it. I love, like, I'll take time out of my day to sit and watch a load of YouTube videos. It's how I do all of my research for all of the podcasts. That's why they're all wildly wrong. Like, you were talking about, I always wanted to be a wrestler. When I was 5 years old, I always wanted to be a wrestler. Let's talk about Dave Bautista, shall we? Like lifting weights, doorman, realised probably not going anywhere with my life. What do I want to do? Professional wrestler. Was shit at it. Went away, came back. Oh yeah, I think we can work with you. Now,
You just reminded me of something I was watching the other
like-
day. It was...
not hard for some people, is it?
It was like film stars and their stunt doubles.
Stunt doubles.
Right? But what gets me
Yeah.
is when you've got the likes of Dave Bautista
Mhm.
and he's got a stunt double, I'm like, why are you not just doing your own?
Yeah.
I don't know how to like maybe articulate that. But I'm like, if you're only an actor because you did all that jumping around and putting yourself in danger shit,
It does make sense.
so why are you now suddenly a film star and you've now got someone else to do all that shit for you?
Yeah. So I know that this film has been mentioned in passing, but I don't think it ever really got much coverage. But The Raid.
Right, yeah, well, I've heard of it. I'd like
So
to
The
watch
Raid
it,
is a Taiwanese film.
too, right?
Two of
Yeah.
them. Taiwanese film. Welsh director.
Excellent.
Right. So they needed to cast the bad guy. And they were like, this guy, no, this guy, no, this guy, no. The whole time they had a guy who was choreographing all the fights and he was just off the charts. And eventually, he was about this big as well. And eventually they were like,
Do you want to be the right guy?
why don't we just put him in the film? Because he can do all the stuff and like his height was kind of a thing. Like he was tiny, but he was just off the charts. So they were like, just stick him in the movie. And he went from stuntman and choreographer to being in the movie, and he is like one of the best things about that film. He's in the second one as well.
Because it's proper,
It's just
isn't it?
like, yep, you'll do.
It's like, can you remember like previously when you'd have like shit sports films where I don't know, like all the action sequences or the boxing. You look at like the old Rockies, the actual boxing shite compared to the new Rockies
Yeah.
because they're actually getting boxers involved. Like,
Yeah.
and it's so much better for
I showed
it.
you that video of Michael B. Jordan getting knocked the fuck out.
I don't remember seeing that.
No,
You know, it was all over the place. It was like it went viral
as
because
part of the film.
so
or-
Sly has this thing that it's like if you're going to be in the movie, you've got to take a punch, and you've got to have taken a punch from one of the professional boxers. So I think it's in the latest one in Creed 2.
I've not
they've
seen
got
Creed 2 actually.
The guy like, who's supposed to be
Drago's
son, who is Russian, I think, and
But he'll be a professional boxer.
but he was a professional boxer. So there's just it's shot from behind the guy, and Michael B. Jordan, he's like ready, and the guy's like, and obviously when you in a movie when you pretend to throw a punch compared to when you actually throw a punch, it's a completely different thing. You're doing it for the camera, you're doing it for show. When you throw a punch, you are doing it for impact. You are doing it to knock the guy. So he's like, bang, and he just goes out cold. Just goes straight down, out cold.
Straight on the off.
Done.
Nice.
And it's like, yeah, that's that. That's getting knocked.
Yeah,
out.
that's smart a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, it was just as I say, it was just weird that they have like their own doubles when you think
It's
why are they
insurance.
doing it themselves?
So Jackie Chan spent all of his career doing all of his own stunts
until he became a movie star
and trying to break into
mainstream
America.
acting.
He tried to break into America. I think it took him like 4 attempts. Like he'd come and he'd done something and it didn't get over. So he'd gone back and one of his best films is Drunken Master 2. That like the uncut version of that is off the charts, insane. There's a fight scene in a tea house where the building collapses by the end of it because there's hundreds of people fighting. And he tried to break into America so many times, and then eventually he did, and it was like, right, okay, let's make this move. And they were like, yeah. So as far as our insurance is concerned, you can't do any of your own stunts. And he's like, but that's my thing. I've got a stunt team. We come, we do the things, and they're like, not when we're paying for it, you don't. And that was that. And there's like,
but it's kind of rubbish, isn't it? That if that's like what makes him good because he can legitimately do all this stuff.
But then you look at the Tom Cruise stuff. Like Tom Cruise has come round to, he does all his own stunts supposedly, and then in the last
broke his leg,
and that's like right. That's that for 6 weeks. And
I mean that's costing the studio a lot of money to kind of put stuff on hold again. Is that it?
Apparently, your order will be delivered in 8 minutes.
All right.
What?
The order travelled through time.
Here's a question for you. He's up.
I made it.
Here's a question for you. So, this is another thing that my mate used to ask. It was a case of, right, so, you have to do one of the following. Which do you think you'd be best at with no previous experience?
Right.
And it was stuff like hitting a baseball. So there's just a regular baseball pitcher throwing the ball at you.
Absolutely shite myself.
It's one of the lads that's here.
So, yeah, hitting a baseball, kicking a field goal.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm trying to think what I'm just trying to gather it for my own one. Like
Kicking a field goal.
So kicking a field goal, hitting a baseball, shooting a 3-pointer.
Yeah, right, okay.
I'd say hitting a hole in one, but even the professionals can't do that half the time. So let's just say hitting a golf ball over 200 yards.
Yeah. What would I be able to just rock up and do?
So
with no
of those
experience?
4,
what's my best?
what do you reckon
success?
your best chances at success are?
Honestly, possibly the field goal.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with you on that one because that's the one where you've got the biggest margin for error.
Yeah, I think the baseball. It's down to look whether you're connecting that one.
Oh, big time! It's all time. It's all timing.
Yeah. I don't think I've got any chance at hitting a golf ball 200 yards. Never played golf at all.
You've never picked up a golf club?
I've been to the driving range on one occasion, but never used the driver.
Drivers are so hard to use.
Yeah.
You need to have your weight distributed properly, and it's just so hard.
Yeah, it's not something that interests me as golf. And what was the other 3-pointer? I seem to remember I tried to get into basketball and stuff like just as I was leaving school, and it was always way more difficult than I thought it would be.
Oh, massively so. So I used to play. I used to play on a Wednesday night with a couple of mates.
Was this with was Lacey in that one as well?
Yeah, this is what Tim did.
Because that's when I first joined the area, and Tim just had this like, like if it was Wednesday night, basically no way was Tim coming to work any Thursday. It's like, oh, what's up, Tim? Oh, just dislocated a finger.
Seriously,
done this. Every week he'd have an injury.
I wasn't there the week it happened, but James, my brother, told me about it, and I don't know why he'd lie. So I was under the impression that it was absolutely true. So I spoke to Tim about it, and he was like, "Yeah, that definitely happened." Unfortunately, he went to catch the ball, and obviously it rebounded off the backboard a bit differently to how he normally thought about it. Caught him on the end of his finger. So he was like, that hurt a bit. Looked at his hand. His little finger was pretty much at a right angle. So he was like, just pop that back in, and I'll sit out the rest of this, little lads.
It was always like, I've dislocated a finger. I've done a knee.
I ruptured my Achilles. No, I didn't.
So I was going to say,
my
don't want to be doing that anytime soon.
My dad ruptured his Achilles.
I definitely did not rupture my Achilles.
He had a black leg for weeks.
I tore the ligaments in my ankle. That's what I did. I'll dig out the pictures.
I tore a ligament in my leg before.
I've torn the ligaments in both my ankles, so my ankles are now both fucked because they'll never be as strong as they ever were, which is annoying. Oh, I can breathe in a heavenly aroma.
I was going to say, have we reached a point here? Yeah.
I'll just dig out these
I'll pose Andy the same question as you posed me while digging that one out there.
Yeah, go for it.
So, what?
Yeah.
I don't worry about it, man.
Food.
Don't worry about it, man.
No.
I can't reach any further.
No. So his question was, just think how many times you give me a lift home, man. Yeah.
It's the fact that it's just swollen and all like one size.
That's just your usual cankles.
That was after that was after it had come out a little bit more.
Cankle?
Oh, hang on.
Oh, he's definitely got some cankles going.
Oh, there we go. That was it. So one was my right foot, and then about 6 months later, after it had healed, I did my left foot.
Literally, I remember it must have been a couple of years. You turning up to work every single Tuesday.
Yep.
Check out my injury. It's like Jesus. He had the same injury, which he just every week just opened up again.
That is dark. That is dark and nice. There we go, ladies and gentlemen.
So just to wrap us up, while we're talking about
yes,
sports. His question to me is: I give you 4 scenarios. Which one do you think you could do with no previous experience and have the most chance of success? Okay. So you've got shooting a 3-pointer.
Okay.
Kicking a field goal.
Okay.
Driving with a
golf ball 200
yards. Or hitting a baseball from a standard pitcher.
So yeah, pitcher's in front of you, you're on the home plate. He's going to do a standard fastball, whatever ball at you. You just have to hit it. Just basically make contact with it.
Like now, if I had to walk out and do one of these.
No previous experience, you just basically, you're rocking up at the time and you're doing the activity.
What's your best chance of
So
success?
what, a 3-pointer?
Yeah.
Now, from experience, in my head I can still play basketball like I could when I was 16. In reality, when we went to play, it's like, wow.
That was very disappointing.
It's a bit of a gap.
We need to do that again when I'm there.
We do need to do that again. Well, the next time we have a thing at one of their houses, we'll just take a ball.
So I'm probably pushing 3-pointer out.
Okay.
I've got one shot at this as well. I can't just stand all day.
It was a case of which one do you reckon you'd be able to do? Well, I suppose first.
Yeah.
So 3-pointers out.
I don't know. I don't think it's out. I don't think it'd be the
3-pointer for me was probably going to be second or third.
Of all of them, in theory, the 3-pointer is probably the easiest to hit.
Yeah.
Because it's the smallest distance.
Yeah.
In theory, and you'll probably just fluke one after a while.
Yeah, I mean, I'd go with
I
it.
was thinking much like that about the baseball, though. I was like,
yeah,
do you know
probably
what's
going to fluke landing.
When you were saying about the baseball, I was like, that might have to be.
But the timing
and everything.
The timing on that has got to be so spot on.
But
eventually you will
you're
get
probably one. You're probably gonna look out
Yeah.
with one. I mean, I'd be fearing for my head being taken off before that occurred.
I mean, the ball should be anywhere near your head, like, but
it just has to go 200 yards. Doesn't matter which direction.
I mean, if you hit 200 yards perfectly up in the sky, then we maybe have a thought.
Phil could do that with his eyes closed.
I'll tell you something. Tom.
I mean, Tom,
unbelievable. So you know that sort of sound that balls make when they get absolutely ripped, where it's like a that. Seriously, that's literally what all of Tom's balls sound like.
Well, I mentioned that I've been to the driving range once, but I didn't use the driver. It was with my friend of mine, Chris, and he was like, I think he was playing off like 9, something like that.
So
he was playing a lot. Right, so I've got my bucket of golf balls. He's got them. After about half a bucket, I'm like, I've had enough of this. I've probably hit like 3 balls more than about 20 rounds or something. I'm only using irons. He sat there, right, at one point, he's on the phone in left hand, having a conversation, he's like he's got like an iron in one hand, and he's literally just hitting these like perfect balls, which to me are going like 600 yards. Obviously they're not, but it's just like ping, ping, ping. They're all going straight miles, and he's not even thinking about it. He's like literally having a phone conversation, one-handed, and they're just going. And I'm like, this is incredible.
Depends how much you believe this, but there was that thing that The Rock had posted on like Instagram or something. It was like the world record for hitting a golf ball is like 650 yards. I've just hit a golf ball 630 yards. First try, just whack.
Jesus.
I was like, good on you, good go, nice one.
Like Chris could also do the thing where you've got a golf ball and you're like bomb, 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 and then whack it just like it's nothing.
The one I'd seen was guy with the ball and a girl on his shoulders with a club, so he's tapping it like that.
And then she swung it.
She strikes it. There's like, there you go. That's how you do it. 3-pointer, hitting a baseball, golf ball,
field goal.
Field goal. Absolutely no fucking chance. Did you see the thing where some woman was like a female reporter was like, I've been looking through Twitter, and every time like somebody's missed a field goal, you look at the people who are like, can't believe you fucking missed that field goal. I could have made that. Gets them down to the pitch. Go on then.
See, it's weird you said that, because I felt like out of the four, my best chance was field goal, and it sounds like.
To be honest, I sort of agree, because it's the one that you've got the biggest margin of error. Because with a 3-pointer, obviously you've
getting it off the ground.
Yeah, but if you think about it, so with a 3-pointer, you're literally throwing a ball that's this big into a hole that's that big.
Do you know the thing about a basketball hoop?
Twice the size of a basketball.
Yeah, you can put 2 basketballs through a basketball hoop.
Is it that big?
But apparently that's true.
So this was like, it wasn't, I don't think it was Mythbusters, but I think it was something where they were saying, when people are like, oh, if the hoop was bigger, but in actual fact, you can take 2 basketballs through the hoop.
I didn't realise it was that big.
Obviously they won't go through, because obviously the net will stop them from, like, if they go at the same time.
I'm pretty sure they will.
Obviously the net will just basically sort of like
the net's got some give though on it normally.
Pretty sure they will go through at the same time.
If they get through the hoop, the net's all right. Anyway, we'll get away.
We're getting away from it. We're getting onto.
But I never thought it was that big. But anyway, so yeah, you basically just excluding the field goal here. You're going to tell us why?
The field goal.
Are you putting that last?
It's going to be last.
Wow.
After watching that video of all those people coming up and going, yeah, I'll have a go. like I say, try and get it off the ground for a start. The number of the people that were like, yeah, I'll have a go, and they were just like, pum. So you've got that for a start. So field goal would have to be last.
Didn't they say something like the sweet spot on an American football is the size of a quarter?
Yeah. What they do is and there was like, because there were like guys that were like commenting on college football, which is obviously as big, if not sometimes bigger than the NFL in America. So I'm gonna have to put that last. Having seen what it is, I'm gonna have to put that last. I think 3-pointer. I think 200-yard golf ball. I think baseball. I think I'd have a chance.
That's so weird. So you pretty much.
All you said.
I was going to say.
All you said was I had to touch it.
Yeah.
I absolutely.
I didn't have to hit a home run.
I absolutely.
I just had to have contact.
Found that I thought the golf one was probably going to be the hardest one for me. Mm. Baseball, I think I would get as a fluke.
I can hit a golf ball about 100 yards using a hybrid. And that'll get no more. I mean, you've seen how I play. That'll get no more than about 3 foot off the ground. If I actually took my driver out, I could. I'm not saying I could hit it 200 yards. I could probably hit it further. It wouldn't be straight. My golf game is I'd rather hit 100 yards straight 3 times and get down to the hole than hit it 150 yards and be 2 fairways away. And I've played that shot. Too many times. And no idea where that ball's gone. I'll drop.
Maybe he's going golf because he's clearly played some golf. And
more than likely.
I'm not saying I've tried to play any NFL though. But
no.
Anyway,
Cool.
that was the close though, wasn't it? There.
Yeah.
And
Interesting.
we've ended on
Nice little
an
bullshit there.
agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Au revoir, people.
It's just that that food was smelling mighty good.
I honestly didn't know how much further he'd get before. So there you go. What do you think of that? Another one in the bag. The BScast, everyone's favourite. YouTube watchers, make sure you're YouTube subscribers. Click for notifications and things like that. Everybody, get yourselves over to the Cookiecast.com. That's where you'll find our social media links, our email function, our website, all that sort of stuff. Drop over and say hi. So yeah, BScast done. Another one in the bag. Another week passed. And tune in for next week when I'm sure there'll be more BS. Until then, I'm going to say bye-bye.